Hello, princess. Sorry, I should be doing this with it's my phone. Sorry, I know my phone with like when I'm writing it, maybe not on a board, like on a book or something. But I was very busy today. I'm sorry about that. A lot to do, a lot to teach, assisting this person in results and all that stuff, and assisting this one in teaching this. But uh, your topic talk about reapportionment from what service centers to production centers. So first of all, we need to discuss it. Yeah, production centers. Now, there's what they call the production centers of an organization and the service centers. Both of them are centered for staff, not customers. And they are centered. The end result is for customers. The staff work of the customers, but those are for the staff of the organization right now. The production part is where they are doing the production directly. Whatever they are trying to create or build, maybe like a bread in a bakery, the process of trying to make the bread, production center, all those things, the flour, the the dough, the whatever, all those things they buy, the butter and the rest is what they use in production center. The service center is like a place where they actually was help in the store, but they are not the actual ones doing the main thing, but they actually what help. Like for example, canteen. I mean, there's kind of small canteen that the bread they can say, okay, staff, people should go there and be eating. That does not mean the canteen itself that is responsible for what the bread the staff is getting. So they are service. They are just there to what help the staff to service the staff. There is what they call the maintenance. The maintenance too are there for the staff. So all those instruments, all those weapons, like all those machines and the rest that they are using to make sure they last longer. Now those maintenance are not the one doing the main work, it's the production that is doing the main work. But the maintenance or the service centers or the whatever, the canteens and the rest are helping them to what to actually what to deliver to the staff. Not so this one is not even to the customer that will say okay it is doing something. Now this thing needs to be reapportioned. It needs to be reapportioned from and this service cost, because since they are not the main deal, the main thing is the production cost. This service cost, whenever I see costs that have to do with canteen or maintenance, or there are others, but mostly these two, they should reapportion it. Let's say there are different departments now. Let's say, okay, I'll give you an illustration before I actually show you illustration I want to use. Now, let's say you have a bread in a bread bakery, right? Then they have the production and service side, right? But they have the, let's say in that bread this thing, they have the what like put it, the flour pounding side and the oven putting. Those are two different departments. The people that actually pound the flour and all that stuff, like they pound the stuff and create the bread and all that stuff, and then they are the ones that carry the bread and put it to the oven. All of them are still in production. Those are two. Then if you now see something like canteen or maintenance, that is long guy production, is a service. Or they just give you letters, let's say department A and department B. But you're going to understand this thing better more when I give the illustration. So the thing is that whenever I see things like canteen or maintenance and all those kind of things, or anything that is suspected, you have to find a way to what eliminate it because it needs to be added to the production. Because it's assumed that what that thing should be accounted for when you want to produce it from the very beginning. When you're doing like you should plan for if even it in the very beginning. Like, okay, even this social service cost I'm putting it inside. You will know with everything right from before you do the OT, it should be planned from. So it should be added to the production cost because service cost is not the main thing. So that when you are taking, because this production cost is the maintenance, the one taken seriously. When you are doing it, you will take the production cost very seriously. The service, but I don't look at it. So you have to carry those things and add to the production cost the hand somehow. So if you see canteen and maintenance, they have to remove it and add. Now, how much would they give to this department? Sorry, how much cost would they give to this department and how much cost do they give to the other department? Now, there's a difference between costs and profits. Now, this cost I'm talking about is talking about things they will spend, not money they will gain. Because production is part of the people that does the things that later money will come back, like that bread. That is the bread they produce that money will come from. It's not the canteen that will bring the money because the canteen is for staff, not for customers, right? It's the even the maintenance. It's not they are maintaining this that will bring them. It's the thing, the machine itself. What it does is what bring the money, not the machine being maintained. You understand? So is that is what I'm talking about. So when you are doing the department, what is the word I'm looking for? When you are doing this stuff, uh that is what you should look out for. So when you're sitting like machine maintenance, you have to remove it and make sure you add it to what the other departments. So these are the examples I am going to give. These are the examples I'm going to give. I'm going to give you two examples actually, and I'll try to see whether I can get it. I hope you'll be able to get it. What you'll be able to do because you have to share That's what service cost between what the departments they give you. I'm going to use one or two departments to make it easy. You have to share the service cost between the two departments or whatever that they gave to you. Okay, now it's time for me to show you the example. Now look at the example. The department A and department B, and then there was one more cost which is called maintenance, right? Department A, which is both of them are production, department A and department B. Department A cost was 10,000. Cost is what they actually spent for the money they spent for. Department B is 15,000, but somehow they now added maintenance, which was a service, and maintenance is 5,000. Remember what I said? You're going to what remove the service and what put it share that cost. You not just eliminate it, you share that cost among what the two departments or how many number of departments they give you for the production. And since these are two, department A and department B, now if you check where you see department A gets 60%, they are even telling you what to do in the what information. Give department A 60% of what that 5,000 and give department B 40% of that 5,000. So which means from there we now what find 60% of 5,000 is 3,000. Then 40% of 5,000. You know what percent is? Percent is divided by 100. So it's like saying 5,000 times 60 divided by 100, you get 3,000 naira. And it's like saying for department B, because department B is 40%, right? 5,000 times 40 divided by 100, because percent means divided by 100. I said it just now, equals to 2,000. Now you can see how easy it is, because if you look at it, you see that they say what department A, which is his number 10,000, has become what has become 13. Because remember, when we find 60% of that 5,000 from maintenance, we add that 3,000, because that is 60%, it becomes 13,000. Then we check department B, which we have 15,000, that was department B, but they say 40%, and 40%, which we have already found out before, of that was 2,000. 40% of 5,000, which is 40 divided by 100 times 5,000, right? That is 2,000. So if we add that 2,000 to the 15, becomes the new cost for department B is 70, and for department A, the new cost is 18. The maintenance fee will be eliminated because it is it we just shared among the two. If you notice, it becomes 5,000 minus 5,000, which is what 0, because it has been cleared out. We have eliminated it and what given it to what the production department, which are department A and B. Now see the second example I'm giving you. This one they even give you the number of workers. Okay. Now this one is, I don't know, I feel like it's in a kind of pastry shop or something. And this one they have a mixing, which is one of the main things and create the product, right? Maybe the product is a pastry product, like all the snacks and the rest. So the mixing is 10,000 naira. The baking is 15,000 naira. You can see it there, right? The revenue is that step 1, 10,000 and 15,000. But the problem now is this canteen. I remember when I said maintenance and canteen as service cost. And so for us to apportion it, we have to remove the canteen of 3,000 naira there and share it between what's the mixing and the baking, which are the production department. So yeah, that P1 you're saying is production, S is service. So mixing is what? Mixing is the production department 10k. Baking is the production department 15k. And if you notice, all this service want you to have small amounts because they don't really even use to incur cost. Canteen is 3,000. The last one it was 10, 15, and 5, right? Now the canteen spent. Now if you notice, they gave us the mixing was 20 workers because now they be the main this thing, them and baking. Then the baking were 10 workers. Now since this one they gave us workers instead of department, right? Instead of percent, they not give us percent, so they give us workers. So we're going to do it like ratio. The workers we have 20 for mixing and 10 for baking. So we'll do 20 plus 10 becomes 30, right? 20 plus 10, 30. So 30 total workers. So for mixing, since they are 20, we'll do 20 divided by 30 times that canteen amount, which is 3,000, right? That's what you are seeing there mixing, which is 3,000 times 20 divided by 30. It becomes 2,000 naira. So you are dividing the selected workers for mixing, which is 20, divided by the total number, then times for 3,000, you get 2,000 naira. Then for baking, since there are 10 workers, because 10 divided by still that 30, but times 3,000, which is 1,000 naira. So now we have successfully shared out the 2,000 and the 1,000, because 2,000 out of the 3,000 are now going for mixing and 1,000 is going for baking due to the workers, because they not give us percent this time for us to do like the last time they give us 60% and 40%. This time they give us workers, so just plus it, then select. Since missing was what was 20, so 20 divided by that their total, which is 20 plus 10, which is 30. 20 divided by 30 times that canteen amount, so times the service amount, 3,000 is 2,000. I know you understand what I'm saying. Baking, 20, then baking were 10 workers, so 10 divided by that total amount, which is 30 times 3,000, which will give me 1000. Everything has been shared. So if you notice the cost, this is the cost. We have department, we have original cost, we have partial canteen cost, and total overhead, right? You don't even need to draw it. This is like table. You don't need to draw this table. You can just do it the old-fashioned way. The normal cost they gave mixing before was how much? It was 10,000. So it's basically what they still did in this table. They plus this 2,000 now. That is what we apportion. So the total cost for mixing for the production and the service of mixing becomes 12,000. Then baking. Remember, his initial cost in the question was 15,000, right? It was 15. But now we have added what a cost of what 1,000 from what from the canteen side for baking for the canteen side. We were apportioning what since it was 1/3 we use and we got 1,000. We're apportioning extra 1,000. So 1,000 plus the 15,000 cost he has before 16,000. Just like the first one had mixing had 10,000 naira cost before. Then the 2,000 out of the 20 divided by 30 workers times 3,000 we have we'll get to 2,000. So we'll add it to the 10,000 you had before, it becomes 12,000. So those are the words. So mixing now has 12,000, baking now has 16,000, and canteen does not have any money anymore. If you notice in that table, you are seeing 3,000 minus 3,000, which is what 0, because the purpose is to clear out any service cost. That's why they call it reapportion, meaning before so it was only in what in the production cost. Then they now go and apportion a special service cost for them, whether maintenance or canteen. So they have to reapportion, meaning remove it back and put it what and share it among for them to say a portion, they are sharing it. Your portion, they are sharing between people and share it back between what the production departments. I know this time I used to, but I can use 3 or 4 or whatever. But the point is what they are removing what the and I've shown you 2 forms of calculation for it. The percent of might be easier for you, but if you know this one, use anyone easier for you. But the best thing I've given is what is to just to remove what things like maintenance, canteen, all those service costs, and what which you need to check how many service costs we have and what they are, and put them what in the production cost in the question and remove the service cost, eliminate it. So that is it. Bye.